Classic Custom. Ah, it's only a 125cc. The size of that motor. Twin cylinder. Huge motor for a 125. Why am I here? Well, I went to Sapa after China for a break. While I was there, I realised how mentally draining it was travelling in China. So I'm going to tell you some of the troubles that I had travelling through. I guess it's the more remote parts of China. Oh, they weren't, remote. I wasn't out in the desert or anything like that. But some of the difficulties you have. Fairly grand old houses in this particular neighbourhood. I'm not sure what this one is. Behind the very high fence. It's very well protected. I have no idea where we are. There's another nice house there. I don't know how old they would be. I'm guessing fairly old. Nice little park to walk through on my way to wherever I'm going, which I don't know where that is. I've got a sort of an idea. I want to tell you a story. China. Now, a couple of things you want to know. And before you even leave your country, there's two things you need to do, and it's very important. One is to download AliPay and also WeChat. Download them and set them up with your credit card information, whatever you need to do. The reason you're going to have to do it beforehand is once you're in China, you'll need they want a phone number, and they'll actually, I believe they send you a code, a one-time code, so you can verify that that's your number. And from there, well, that's how you set it up. So if you wait till you're in China, you won't be able to do that because you more than likely won't have a Chinese phone number. Very important, because without that, you're not going to get anywhere. Without AliPay, at least, as a minimum, you'll need AliPay to get the ball rolling. Uncle Ho. Ho Chi Minh, revered throughout all of Vietnam. Now I wonder what that building over there is. It's very old. See if we can have a look. Looks very busy. There's lots of school kids there. So AliPay, that's your number one go-to for everything. Transport, purchasing goods, trains, just everything you need. It's going to be there in AliPay. If you haven't used AliPay at least a few times every day, then I don't reckon you're in China. It is a must. You cannot get by without it, so set it up before you go. All these lovely people here. The Hanoi flag tower, built in 1805 or 1802, depends who you talk to. Is that it? That's not it. Okay, next. So that's all important. AliPay. More on AliPay in a moment. I didn't have WeChat set up when I was there in China this time, last month, or earlier this month, and I should have, because it would have made life a little bit easier. Now, another very important thing, again, you're going to have to set this up before you go, is a VPN. Without a VPN, you're lost. You can't access the internet in China without it. You'll just get Chinese websites that, unless you can read Chinese and write Chinese, then they're not going to be any good to you whatsoever. Now I'm a little bit lost. I might have to resort to looking at a map. Heaven forbid. A fairly grand looking building. I think I'm getting close to Ho Chi Minh Memorial Park. The mausoleum is the word I'm looking for. I might be. Now, without a VPN, you're going to be stuck in your hotel room at night after a huge day of exploring the cities of China, having to watch some film on the TV that's all in Chinese. You're not going to get any of it. With a bit of luck, they might have some good action. They have some crazy fight scenes on some of the Chinese movies, but comparable with some of the Indian ones, actually. Are these perhaps, colonial era houses, French colonial, that have been taken over by maybe some government department? Certainly doesn't look like they're privately owned homes, not with your security guard standing out the front and a little pillbox set up there. So I don't know who would live there or what its purpose is. But look at that place over there. I'll get a little bit closer. I'm not going to get a very good view of it from that side of the road. It's just the fences surrounding it are too tall. Strange looking building. But this is definitely a nice area of town, that's for sure. Another nice house. Very nice indeed. I'd live in that. I'm sure they wouldn't let me. This is the Embassy of the Republic of Azerbaijan to the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. That's it there. Visit of President Aliyev as the head of the Soviet delegation to Vietnam in 1983. And there's Ho Chi Minh. Ho Chi Minh went to Azerbaijan when? In 1959. Very cool. Very cool indeed. So is this all the, this looks like the, oh yeah, here we go, the Ukrainian embassy right there. Another nice house. Sure they'd much prefer to be in Hanoi than they would be in Kiev or the Donbass right now. Which way? Straight ahead? 1945 to 2025, 80th anniversary. Let's try and cross over. Wow, there's some real hectic little pockets of activity going on all around. Yeah, so where else? I keep getting distracted. Oh, my apologies. It's hot. Yesterday was a perfect day in Hanoi. I reckon it was about 27 and 28 degrees. Today we've shot back up to probably 32. Now what's this one? Ministry of Foreign Affairs. For who? Just the Vietnamese Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I'm going to guess. I wonder why it is so interesting to all these people. A lot of people getting their photos taken. I'm waiting to cross. Here we go. Okay, so it's probably all in the lead up to the special day. What do I call it? Sort of like an Independence Day, but it's not. All the ladies dressed up in their finery. Very good. The men don't do it. Not even a little bit. Oh, there's one. One man is dressed up in a military uniform. Oh, maybe he's not dressed up. Maybe that's his uniform. I don't know. Looks like Vladimir's body double made it to Hanoi 2024 for talks with whoever that guy was. I'm guessing that over there is going to, it's massive. It is absolutely massive. It's, yeah, stretches along a few hundred, maybe 400 metres at least. And I'm going to suggest that's going to be for a parade ground of some description. And here's another more modern looking building up here. One of the better ones I've seen here in Hanoi. Don't know what it is. There's a sign up here that might tell me. Now there's people in there. So how do I get in there? I'm not sure. Oh, this is, I know exactly where we are. That's the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum right there. So normally this is just a big open area. As you can see, all this scaffolding is just sitting on grass. And yeah, as I said before, this is the parade ground. I've just never seen it set up before with these massive scaffolding seatings just ready to collapse at a moment's notice. Oh, get back over this road. Well, it depends how you pronounce it. Na Kokhoi or Na Kwahoi. That one. Still don't know what it is. But obviously an important building. So, where was I? This is going to be a long video. Without a VPN, yes, you're going to be stuck. I spent one night. I was watching the British program. Come dine with me, just for a bit of a laugh. The actual program went for 45 minutes. It took me a bit over 2 hours to watch it. Why? Well, I had my VPN, had all that set up, ready to go, but Wi-Fi connection. If you're going to stay in a hotel, if you've got the luxury of choosing which hotel you're going to stay at, try and find out their Wi-Fi speeds. Especially as a YouTuber, I need to upload videos, and my record was, I think it was just under 48 hours to upload one 32-minute video. And that is outrageous. And the same goes to if you're downloading something, streaming a movie, YouTube movie or whatever it may be, then you've got to have those very fast Wi-Fi speeds. Otherwise, your life is going to be even more lonely and boring than what it already is in China. The wonderful country of China. So you've got your VPN sorted, you've got your fast Wi-Fi sorted at your hotel, and you should be in a pretty good place. The other thing you're going to need is phone connection. Two ways you can do it. One, and I've done both. One is to get a Chinese SIM card, and I got one my first trip to China, no problem, at the airport. Lady installed it for me right in front of me, and that was all well and good until about I think it might have even been the next day when it completely stopped working, and I was forced to find this guy just cheating death. He's getting a photo taken. Vietnamese people are crazy. What is he doing? So so I had a second day with my Chinese SIM card. Stopped working. I had to go and find a place to. Okay, so this is it. This is the actual parade ground. So all the important people are going to be over there somewhere. Possibly, I don't think they'd put them right in front of the mausoleum. That would be disrespectful. That's the mausoleum out there. And yeah, I guess they'll march up and down there in the sweltering Hanoi heat. think just over here is the palace, the old palace. Did I go in there? Did I go in there on my last trip? I can't remember. I do a lot of things. So second day, had my Chinese SIM card in there, stopped working, had to go and find the actual place, which was an adventure in itself, because the guy driver took me to the wrong place. When I eventually found it, they luckily I'd brought my passport with me. Pretty much, look, I don't travel everywhere with my passport when I'm in Vietnam, just in China, just on day trips and things like that. But if you want to get anything done, you're going to have to get your passport, have your passport with you. So luckily I did, and then the guy in the shop said, yes, I fix, and he just took it. He took my phone for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and I was very worried. The phone came back, and I was just all I could think about was how much spyware they'd installed on my phone secretly. But oh well, that was a while ago now, nearly a year ago, and I haven't had any problems. But back to your connectivity. So if you don't get a Chinese SIM card, which are good, once it was working it was fine, you're going to have to go for an eSIM. I did. I don't get sponsored, so I'm not going to tell you who. It was a very prominent one on the market, and except for right on the border between Lao Cai and Hanoi, where it sort of was pretty sketchy. I think it was sort of trying to jump between the two countries. It didn't work very well, but everywhere else it worked pretty good. No real problems. 10 gigabytes. Actually, I was getting close to running out with 10 gigabytes. I ended up having 15 gigabytes. But hey, very easy to use, and yeah, I recommend it. You're not going to get it very far without it, so you've got to get one. So they're your two most important things: your VPN. Well, three most important: your VPN, your AliPay, and your SIM card. Either, as I said, eSIM or a local one. Sit down and have a rest. Where's the light? There it is. Okay, so you've got those things sorted. Probably your next thing that's going to be a hassle is going to be your translation. Yeah, that goes without saying. I mean, wherever you go, unless you've got some sort of abilities in the language where you are, then you're going to struggle, even with Translate. And Translate is... the problems with that are compounded by your connectivity to the internet and just using Translate in general. I've got I think it's the one that just, does one come standard on your phone? I'm not sure. But if it is, that's the one I've got. Look, it's not the best. I actually have used, even the people in China who I was trying to talk with, they commented on how crap my translator was. They have one that's installed or one available to them in China, and I watched them use it and I used it myself, and it was brilliant. It didn't make many mistakes, and some of the mistakes that my translate made was actually hilarious. One of them, I asked a question, and the question came out in English as, I did murder your auntie. And I dared not show that to the lady. I just had to try and repeat, try again and get a different result. But very, very, it's a very time-consuming. It's not a good way to converse with people. As I said, it makes mistakes. It makes any sort of conversation very drawn out and just not pleasant. I mean, it's not a spontaneous way to talk to someone, which makes life a little bit difficult. I think this is the gardens that go around. Not allowed to film. The gardens that go around the mausoleum grounds. I don't know why I'm not allowed to film, because you're allowed to film when you're in there, but I don't know. Okay, what's next? Now I've got to hurry this along. This is going to be an hour-long video, and even I wouldn't watch an hour of me. So you've done your translate, you've got that. Whether it works well or not, that's what you've got to rely on. Of course, you learn a couple of words before you go to the simple ones. Hello and thank you, which are very easy. Ni hao, sheshe for thank you. And that'll get you by, sort of. But as I said, not very good for conversing with people. Now, booking a hotel. I've always been a fan, a user of Booking.com. Don't bother with that one in China, is my experience, especially in the more remote areas. Now, when I say remote, a place like Ordo, I think has still got quite a few million people in it, but compared with Chongqing, it's that's a city of 32 million. When I tried to use Booking.com, not allowed to sit here either. Can't sit, can't take photos. There's a park. I'll go into that park right over there. It's the heat, making me stop all the time, have a rest. So, Booking.com. Yes, when I went to Ordo, there was, it's a huge city, and Booking.com came up with 2 hotels for the entire place, and they were actually not even in that city. They were in another one about 25 kilometres away, a much smaller city. So you're going to have to change to a different one. The one I found was the most convenient was Trip.com. Again, no sponsorship, so they get nothing from it. I might even bleep that out. Go onto that site, and then you've got a wide selection of hotels to choose from. And they're pretty good hotels too in China, a lot of them. Take your time. Don't do it like I do. Book at the last minute. Take your time, and you'll get some pretty stunning places to stay. What else was there? Travel. Now, the way I chose to travel, you can fly. Flying's cheap, flying's easy. Cities, airports, as usual, they're a little bit out of the city. But for that matter, so are the larger railway stations. Not all of them, but some of them in the more outlying areas of China. You're going to have to. It's up to 15 kilometres away to get to the railway station, so inconvenient. But hey, taxis are very, very cheap. I think for a 15 kilometre trip, half an hour might cost about maybe $9, something like that. Australian, $9 Australian, $5 American. So that's not a problem. But Trip is definitely the app to use. Oh, and that's your app. So within Trip, you've got your normal things, so you can book hotels, cars, flights, and transport, i.e. your trains. And that is the best way to book a train in China, guaranteed. You can go on the can't remember what it is, 12326 something like that. It's a website for China Railways. They're not going to be, unless you speak Chinese, they're not going to be any good to you. So yeah, Trip is definitely the way to go. Although I had my own difficulties, leaving auto in particular. Other than that, no, I had no problems with the trains in China. Very reliable, on time, comfortable. They do have what's called standing class, which I would avoid like the plague. So you've got your first class, your second class. Some trains even have a class above first class, but it was never on the site when I looked at it, so I don't know what it is. I don't know how much it is, but I saw it just in front of my first class, sorry, at the front of my first class carriage, and it did look very good indeed. So looked very, very comfortable, like lounge chairs where you can just recline all the way back, put your feet up, and have a good trip. So that's going to be your transport covered. The other thing that really, food. I didn't show much of it. Fortunately, in China, they've got the fast food, they've got the KFC, Mickey D's, all that. There's a few other ones, I can't recall them off the top of my head, because they were the ones that I frequented. And did I ever frequent them? Because Chinese food can be very hit and miss. Hey, I've made it to where I wanted to be. How's that? Just through there. Let's cross over this road. I don't get it. I don't know why that is like that. No cameras in this little park here. This is a nice area of town. I like it. Where I want to be is just over there. The food. Don't get me wrong, I had some very nice meals in China. Lovely fried rice dish. And who is this guy? Lai Tu Trong, 1914 to 1931. Looks like a soldier, sort of. But I don't know who he is. The food, very nice. Had some nice noodle dishes, some chicken dishes, but there's just some stuff there. When you walk into a restaurant and there's usually dead ducks waiting to be cooked ducks with, they seem to take great pride in displaying the uncooked version of what you're going to get in pictures on the walls as soon as you walk into the cafe or restaurant, whatever it may be. And it's a little bit off-putting, if I do say so myself. I don't want to see that. So yes, McDonald's and KFC, they copped a bit of a hiding when I was there in China. There's very little fish in there, very small fish. A few guys fishing just there. And here is the lake. I think this is the biggest lake in Hanoi, and I think that Hanoi actually stands for, or translates as City of Lakes. So I read. So travelling in China in general, another thing that I found, and this is probably not going to, might not affect you, but I'm a solo traveller. Occasionally I meet up with a friend or a couple of friends, and I might travel with them for a week or a month or something like that. I think I'm meeting up maybe in a month or so from now, and that's good, because that allows you to you go out, you have a few drinks, have a conversation, and you relate to each other about your travels, what you've been doing, what you've seen, where you're going to go next, etc. And that's really good. But in China, for a solo traveller, it was a very, very lonely experience. I went for, I think it was 2 weeks, where I did not see another foreign tourist in that entire time, which meant, of course, other than trying to have a conversation with someone on through Translate, which, as I said, is nigh on impossible, you're stuck with your own company. Now, I'm not bad with that. A lot of my working career was spent driving trucks interstate, long distance, and therefore I'm used to keeping my own company, and I'm quite okay with it. But for 2 weeks, I was pretty keen to talk to someone else. I did manage to meet a couple of people, Chinese people on trains who did speak a little bit of English. One girl that I was down near the closer to the Vietnamese border on the last leg of my return trip from up north. She spoke very good English, and I had a conversation with her for about an hour, and it was very, very good. Other than that, it wasn't until I got back to Sapa in Vietnam that I managed to have a conversation with anyone at all. So yes, it's going to be lonely, and if you compound that problem or issue with issues with either a VPN or a bad internet connection, then you're not even going to have the solace of being able to watch an English TV show or any TV show in your language. So it is a little bit of a problem. It was a problem for me. I didn't enjoy that part of my trip into China. But would I go back? Yeah, sure I would. I will go back. I want to go to a lot of the smaller cities, hopefully less than 1 million people. Even cities that are maybe, I'd like to find one with 50,000, but what would that be? Just a village, I guess. All right, I did come here to tell you a story, but I've waffled on for a long, long time. In 1967, John McCain, who later became the US Senator, he crashed his plane in this lake. He was on a bombing run over Hanoi. He was trying to target a power station somewhere around. Got hit by a surface-to-air missile, and he ejected. I don't know where his plane ended up, but he ejected out of his plane, which, as what happens, broke both his arms and one leg during the ejection process, and landed somewhere in this lake. He was pretty lucky because some locals pulled him out, saved him from drowning, and then handed him over to the North Vietnamese army, which they quickly locked him up in the Ho Lo prison, which I've shown you before on another video, but not a very nice place to be. Terrible place. He was there for 5.5 years, so I've been told, and spent most of that time in solitary confinement. Copying the usual stuff, the regular beatings, a bit of torture, really terrible food, all the fun stuff. That was good old John McCain. crashed right here in this lake. Very unfortunate. Well, it didn't crash, as I said, he ejected over the lake. Parachuted down, one would imagine. Another thing to be aware of, or to be wary of, when you're using AliPay, and this is combined with having a poor internet connection, is that you go to pay for something on AliPay. Hello, how are you? Hey.
Maybe later.
Maybe later. What do we got here? A little market by the a lakeside market. Ah, that's okay. No go. No go. Telling me I can't wear shorts to go in there, and I didn't want to go in there anyway. It's just another pagoda. Apparently it's a very famous pagoda, built in the I think it was 605, somewhere around there, AD, but I had no interest. Now, back to, yes, paying for things. Now, if you've got a poor internet connection, then your AliPay will have trouble connecting. Now, I went to buy a computer mouse, pressed, got my AliPay QR code scanned at the shop, and nothing happened. So I was sort of a bit frustrated, waited, a couple of minutes, I guess, did it again, but a slightly different way, where I scanned their QR code, which you can do either way. And in the end, I ended up paying cash for it, which was, I think it was 109 Chinese yuan, which, off the top of my head, about 25 Australian dollars, something like that. Not, nothing to really be too worried about. Later on that day, I checked my AliPay statement, and I'd been charged both times for when I scanned the QR code, and I'd also purchased it in cash. So that mouse ended up costing me about $75. Be aware. And that wasn't the only time. It also happened with taxis. It also happened, another thing is when you're ordering a taxi through AliPay, it might not come up straight away. Sorry, distracted. It might not do anything straight away. Just give it some time. Just wait. Don't go pressing the button again, because you'll end up ordering 2 taxis, and the taxis are prepaid. So when you use the app, the AliPay app, they're prepaid. So you'll end up ordering 2 taxis. Of course, you can only use one at a time. So yeah, it's the little things like that that can just be a little bit annoying about travelling in China. Just watching these men catching fish right here. He pointed over. I said, "Catching any fish?" He pointed this way. He pointed towards the motorbike. Thought, "Where's the fish?" Here it is. That is a pretty big fish. My hand next to it. It's a big fish. Pretty sure it's a carp. But it's a big fat carp, that's for sure. Out of this lake. Alright, so that is going to wrap up my little tale. The trials and tribulations of travelling through China. Yeah, I'm sure it would be a lot easier if you're in a group, jumped on a bus, followed the lady with the flag or the man with the flag, went to the, this cultural thing and that cultural thing. that giant pagoda. But that's not my style. I'd much prefer to just do it my own way. Sure, I miss out on seeing, you know, some of the things that you might get on those tours, but I'm pretty sure I get to see a lot of other things that the people on the tours do not get to see. Alright, that'll do. I've waffled on long enough. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.